Commission. My name is Kimberly Walsh, and present tonight are Commissioners
Lily Peterson-Wortman,
Roy Anderson.
Elizabeth DeMello.
Great. And before we begin, please note that this meeting is being recorded live and streaming at sandwichtv.org, and it is also being broadcast on local channel 15. When you are speaking, please speak into the mic. I need to go through that because no one's here. All right, let's get started. So the first item of business is the Miggs Bacchus property conservation restriction and the notarized signing. Is that taken off the agenda since?
Yes. So, Madam Chair, the update here is that when the Commission signed the CR for Miggs Bacchus several months ago, it unfortunately wasn't notarized. As I've been talking with Town Council about it, I've seen that it's actually not a huge deal right now because the attorney for the fire district, on reviewing this conservation restriction, had actually implemented a number of other changes that Koppelman and Page is now going through again. So the version that the Commission signed at the last meeting some months ago is invalid. And we're just waiting for a new draft that all parties involved will have to sign. And when that happens, it'll be brought before the Commission for a vote of approval, and then another signing that will be notarized at the time. Hopefully we'll have Sean as a notary by that time, so we won't have to have Melissa from the town manager's office come to the meeting and do it. She's hoping to get me the draft by either the January 18th meeting or February 1st, one of those meetings. So,
Great.
So that's the update.
Thank you, Josh. Okay, so we'll move on to continued hearings. I'd like to open DEP file number SC66-1969, Jane Petrosino, care of Hamlin Consulting, for their notice of intent for the proposed sand nourishment and stair repair to include the installation of helical piles at map 85, parcel 26, located at 64A Salt Marsh Road. This is a continuing file, so I think the last one, if I'm not mistaken, we did not want any machinery on the dune. So we asked them to, they told us they were going to put it in by hand and that they didn't have to show up tonight. Is that?
I believe so. There's a statement from Lynn Hamlin, the consultant, there.
Okay. This is from Lynn Hamlin, dated Wednesday, January 4th. To Josh Wrigley. Hi, Josh. I hope 2023 is treating you well so far. I rewatched the 12/7/22 hearing and confirmed that the Commission members agreed that if there was nothing unusual in the NHESP comments, that there was no need for me to attend tonight's hearing. NHESP's comments are typical for nesting shorebirds, which I understand will be included as special conditions in the order of conditions. Accordingly, I do not think my attendance is necessary this evening. To recap the previous hearing, there will be no machinery on the dune beach for either the helical installation or the sand placement. The unit providing the hydraulic power for the helical installation will be located in the driveway along the road. A handheld hose will drive the helical piles into the sand. Similarly, sand will be brought to the site by truck, but Pastore will assemble a conveyor to hand feed the sand under the house. One Commission member wanted to include a special condition to state that the concrete caps are to be on top of the helicals, not part of the footing. Let me know if anything has changed that would necessitate my presence at the hearing. Thank you, Lynn, from Hamlin Consulting. So I would imagine we can close and approve unless anyone has any objections to what Mr. Hamlin had recapped. Okay. All right, I'll take a motion.
I'll go ahead.
Absolutely.
I'll make a motion to close and approve DEP file number SE66-1969, Jane Petrosino, care of Hamlin Consulting, for a notice of intent for proposed sand nourishment and stair repair to include the installation of helical piles at map 85, parcel 26, located at 64A Salt Marsh Road, with existing and discussed conditions.
Again, it's all in favor. If you want to say special conditions.
Oh, did you say close and approve?
Close and approve, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, second. All in
Okay.
favor. Okay, so moved. Okay. Moving on. We have an enforcement issue next, which is Brady's Island, unauthorized cutting within the 50-foot buffer.
Madam Chair, unfortunately, the Sandwich Tree and Landscape Advisory Committee cut a significant amount of vegetation within the 50-foot buffer, getting all the way down almost to the resource area on Brady's Island recently. And this was
I saw that today.
brought to my attention. I'm glad you had a chance to go visit the site. It's unfortunate. It's a fairly egregious violation of heavy cutting within the buffer zone. The commission had sort of given some tacit approval before for limited activities on Brady's Island by the Tree and Landscape Advisory Committee. But it's the department's recommendation. These are just some photographs illustrating the extent of the damage. It's the department's recommendation that the Tree and Landscape Committee be barred from any further work on the property. They would be able to visit the property to enjoy it as a member of the public, but not work on the property. I have a draft letter as well that I will pass down. That would be sent to the Tree and Landscape Committee as well.
Want me to read that into the record, or just take a look?
Sure.
Want me to read it in the record? Okay, this is a letter addressed to the Sandwich Tree and Landscape Advisory Committee to Jean McLaren, the chair, regarding stop work order on Brady's Island, 112 Route 6A, 82-74. Dear Mrs. McLaren, it has come to the attention of the Sandwich Conservation Commission that the Sandwich Tree and Landscape Advisory Committee cut vegetation in the 50-foot buffer zone to a coastal bank, 310 CMR 10-30, without commission authorization. Not only was this work performed on property managed by the Conservation Commission, but it took place within wetlands jurisdiction as well. Such work is in violation of the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Sandwich Town Bylaw, Chapter 7. Because of the seriousness of this violation, the Conservation Commission hereby prohibits the Tree and Landscape Advisory Committee and any of its designees from conducting work on the Brady's Island property. Work shall consist of any and all actions pertaining to the maintenance of vegetation, modification of paths, or other activities that affect the property's physical surroundings. In the event of further violations, this commission may issue fines or pursue other legal action. Sincerely, Kimberly Walsh, the chair. Can we put that back, Josh? What are our remedies on that?
I think the main remedy is just to let it grow back. Thanks. I think that's the simplest way forward, rather than require that they do, plantings or something like that. Right. It's just to say, don't do anything. Right. This is it. And then as spring approaches, it'll grow back pretty well. There was a lot of greenbrier there before, and some other sort of low shrubby plants. So I'm sure that they'll come back. That would be my thought on it.
But are there? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Aren't there some kind of special beech trees there?
We've got a lot of locusts. I know there are a number of species. There's a larch, or I think there's 2 larches, a massive ash, and that big horse chestnut that's down by the...
Yeah.
Aren't they pretty much all dying?
No, they're doing okay.
Really? There's huge holes in most of those trees.
I mean, some of them, some of the ones that are a little further in, I think, have suffered a little. But there's a big linden tree as well, big basswood there.
Do we know?
Anyway, I don't know if that answers your question.
Well, I guess my question is there any impact to the survival of those trees if the surrounding vegetation was removed?
I don't think so. Okay. I think, going through that section there were some, it went through some cedars. I think they should bounce back.
Okay.
I don't think they cut any trees specifically, but it was.
If you look from the areas where the paths and or openings were allowed, it will take no time at all, especially for the spring and summer, for you not to see the marsh at all, because it's going to be so overgrown again. So is the purpose of that particular cleanup was just to create a parking area? Because even from the deck, I was there today, even from the deck, you can't see much of anything even now.
Well, the commission has the ability to approve some limited vista pruning that natural resources can do. But the problem with this was that it was just wholesale cutting.
Oh, there's no question. The path out front was just massive. I would anticipate, though, that once a path is done, and if it gets any activity at all, the people themselves will continue to keep that path open, because that isn't the only place you can see the marsh.
Well, that path there that they did is an erosion hazard, and
Correct.
it's not done in a place where we would have recommended a path be. So I think in this instance here, our office would put in signs saying trail closed, don't use this, it's being restored. You know,
I think
let it
where
grow
you're
back.
going, right?
That's
Because
exactly
I
where
did
it's
see
going.
some areas where, you know, it was starting to erode already, and we really don't want that gullying there.
Right.
So we can stop
That's the
further
unfortunate
activity
thing.
by putting the signs up.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So I guess the question is, where's the end state for this? So one, I'm in total agreement, we have to stop people from walking the path, because it will stay open
Right.
as long as people would want to get close to the water, which is what people do. Second, is there, what's the purpose of that area? Is it to actually be able to see across the marsh and to the center of town? And if it is, it's going to fail miserably in its current state.
Well, there are a couple areas where you can get that view, but having a path in that location isn't part of the plan. You'd want a path higher in elevation. That's it's a little bit further up onto the center of the island there. And then, you know, eventually, if, you know, depending on what our, you know, work is like, if, I know the director has talked about some other potential projects that could enhance access to those lower elevations there. But that's something that, you know, if that comes up, then we'll bring it before the Conservation Commission here before, you know, doing anything.
So
especially for
as
the
we
required
follow that
filing.
path along, do we add something to the note that said we'd work with you in terms of having acceptable access
Well,
under future discussion?
Dave was very emphatic about both his disappointment in the Tree and Landscape Advisory Committee and his confidence that something was going to go awry, I guess, with their activities.
Yeah.
So the recommendation is to prohibit them from doing work on the property and just not allow for that to be a possibility.
I have to agree. I think they overstepped in this.
Certainly overstepped. Certainly everything that was done there is not acceptable. I just wonder whether there should be some opening for discussion versus prohibit is a very final, strong word.
Indeed. And there has been a lot of discussion, even as members of the advisory committee would argue, and they have argued that there has not been a discussion, there has not been communication, but my door has never been closed to them, and there has been. There have not always been agreements. In fact, there, I think, seldom have been agreements, but there has been discussion,
Sure.
and lots of it.
Okay, that's fine. No additional comment.
Can I get the chair to sign this letter?
Sure. I'll take a motion to approve the letter, if that's necessary.
Second?
That wasn't a motion and that was a second.
Sorry.
I'll make a motion to approve the letter to the Brady's Island Tree and Landscape Committee, Advisory Committee, thank you.
Now,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Great. Okay. Next, we have a request for extension. The original file number is DEP file number SE 66-1802. Sean Cashel, care of Prime Engineering, for notice of intent for dune replacement via core envelope installation, sand nourishment, and stair deck repair at Assessor's Map 85, Parcel 14, located at 90 Salt Marsh Road in East Sandwich. Josh, see any reason why we should approve the extension?
Nope. This is a permit that allows for dune renourishment in an area that's pretty hard hit on the west end of Salt Marsh Road, and there's no reason why the commission shouldn't approve an extension.
Great. Okay, I'll take a a motion to?
I will make a motion to extend original filing DEP, approve an extension for original filing DEP file number SE66-1802, Sean Cashel, care of Prime Engineering Incorporated, for dune replacement via core envelope installation, sand nourishment, and stair/deck repair at Assessor's Map 85-Parcel 14, located at 90 Salt Marsh Road, East Sandwich, Massachusetts, with standard and special conditions.
Until when?
3 years.
Oh, when is it 3 years, Josh?
A new expiration date of February 20th, 2026.
For a new expiration date of February 20th, 2026.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, so moved. Now we have certificates of compliance. The first one is the original filing of DEP file number SE 66-1865. Michael Donovan, Michael Desharia, Teresa Papuga, and Jeffrey Lowe, trustees, care of Sebacia, who filed an after-the-fact notice of intent for the upgrade to a Title V compliant septic system at Assessor's Map 96, Parcel 38, located at 241 Phillips Road in Sandwich. Josh, do you have a status for us?
Yes, I was able to do a site inspection here for SE 66-1865. That was for the septic upgrade, and I saw that the area around the leach field that had been disturbed, the project is unplanted and requires beach grass. I would advise that the Commission not issue a certificate of compliance.
Does anyone else have any questions regarding this filing? Okay, I'll take a motion then.
I'll make a motion to deny the certificate of compliance for DEP file number SE 66-1865, Michael Donovan, Michael Dechiara, Teresa Papuga, and Jeffrey N. Lowe, trustees, care of Sebacia Incorporated, for an after-the-fact notice of intent for the upgrade to a Title V compliant septic system at Assessor's Map 96, Parcel 0838, located at 241 Phillips Road, Sandwich, Massachusetts.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so
Do we have
moved.
to add any extra verbiage after these ones?
Not if you don't issue a COC. There, if the Commission were issuing a denial for a notice of intent, then it's important to really add in language that explains why. In this case, the reason why is because it's not in compliance with the order of conditions, and that planting needs to take place as per those conditions, and that the applicant can then reapply for a COC after the 18-month planning period is passed. And that is spelled out in a letter, which is part of the requirement. So there's no state form if a COC isn't issued. The commission just has to have written communication with the applicant saying that it was not issued for these reasons.
Good, okay. Okay, next is the original filing of DEP file number SE 66-1473, Martha Heald, care of Sebacia, for notice of intent for proposed interior and exterior renovations to an existing single-family home at Assessor's Map 71, Parcel 35, located at 224 North Shore Boulevard in East Sandwich. How about this one, Josh?
All right, so this was for... There were two, which one was this again?
This one's the 224 North Shore Boulevard.
Okay, it was SE 66
Sorry,
1473.
1473, yeah.
Okay. So that was for work on the old house that didn't take place because they wound up filing a new notice of intent to tear that entire house down and then build a new house. So the work never took place. So I would recommend that this permit be closed out.
On either.
That the certificate of compliance be issued for this permit.
Okay, so is that backwards? Because you said they filed a different notice of intent, and that's 1457, they just wanted a Title V septic system. Are you saying that that was completed, but the other one, but the work on the house wasn't?
Well, there's actually a third permit.
Oh, a
so
third
that,
permit. Oh, I see.
What people would do is, if they had the intention to do a raise and rebuild, they would get the Title V upgrade first for the house as it exists, so they didn't have to do an elevated tank, which would be a requirement. And then after they secured that order of conditions, then they'd submit a new notice of intent for the raise and rebuild of the structure.
Okay.
So this certificate of compliance request is for a different set of work that had been proposed on the old structure that is now gone. So the work never took place.
So therefore,
We approve it?
yeah, I would
Yeah.
think you would just close it without approval because they didn't do the work.
Well, the certificate of compliance is issued then to signify that closeout, so that this is recorded at the Registry of Deeds, so that the old order of conditions isn't still hanging over the property.
Sure.
But does that make it look like at the Registry of Deeds as though this work was actually completed on that prior structure?
No, because the box under section B on Form 8B is checked off. That lists the work as having never commenced.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Okay, so we'll
That box.
close and approve that then, based on what you told us. Yeah, I'll take a motion for that.
Okay, I will make a motion to close and approve DEP file number SE 66-1473, Martha Heald, care of Sabation Incorporated, for notice of intent for proposed,
Sorry.
am I doing the wrong one?
It's a motion for the issuance of a COC, not to close and approve. That's
Love it,
for
thank you, yep.
a notice of intent.
My bad. I make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for DEP file number SE 66-1473, Martha Heald, care of Sabation Incorporated, for proposed, do I need to read this middle section, the proposed?
For a notice of intent for
Okay.
proposed interior.
For notice of intent for proposed interior and exterior renovations to an existing single-family home at Assessor's Map 71, Parcel 35, located at 224 North Shore Boulevard, East Sandwich, Massachusetts.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Finally, we have DEP file number SE 66-1457, Martha Heald, care of Sabation Inc., for a notice of intent for the proposed upgrade of an existing septic to a Title V septic system at Assessor's Map 71, Parcel 35, 224 North Shore Boulevard. So, based on what you just told us, do we just go ahead and post? Okay.
Yeah, the septic upgrade did happen, and I would recommend that the COC be issued for this filing.
Okay. Anybody make
I make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for DEP file number SE 66-1457, Martha Heald, care of Sabation Incorporated, for a notice of intent for a proposed upgrade of an existing septic to a Title V septic system at Assessor's Map 71, Parcel 35, 224 North Shore Boulevard, East Sandwich, Massachusetts.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. So moved. Josh, do you have, we have the approval of minutes. I took a look at the 21st minutes, and I thought they were fine. I did not have a chance to review the 7th yet. Take a look.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if we have time, right?
Did anyone else have a chance to review?
Yeah. they're
I
both-
looked at both of them,
They're
but I
fine.
wasn't here.
Okay, good. I'm looking right now, too. Okay. So I'll take a motion then. Minutes. The December 7th.
I make a motion to approve the December 7th, 2022 minutes for the Sandwich Conservation Commission meeting.
You can do them both in the same motion.
Oh.
It's okay.
Along with the December 21st, 2022 minutes.
He
Oh,
said,
second?
I,
all in favor?
Aye.
We're getting there.
look at that.
Had a second. Holy mackerel. I jumped out.
I know. Whoa. Roy stepping up. Lily's stepping up.
Don't tell Cam.
Madam Chair, I just had one other item of short business here, which is the draft letter to Aruna Joglekar offering her membership as an alternate on the commission. So I just wanted to pass that down, and if it looks good, you can sign it and we'll send it out.
Oh, sorry, I don't know why I keep like reading these. Like it's
You're allowed.
my bad.
Alrighty. Is there anything else that you have for us?
Nope, that's it.
So if I could, just want to confirm that we're going to have training on the 28th?
Yes, and I was going to remind the commission about that via email. We've got the 28th of January, which is a Saturday, at 9 a.m. here at the Sandhill School. I'm drawing up the agenda now, and we'll try to circulate that sometime soon. A lot of it will just be procedural stuff for meetings to try to just help everyone, feel as comfortable as possible with the formalities of what we do. Also reviewing some old filings as well, and talking about how to review filings. And then we have our work meeting to discuss the regulations on Wednesday, February 8th as well, and that'll take place at 5:30 here at the Sandhill School. So I'll continue to remind everyone about them, but definitely mark them in your calendars, and we'll hope to see you. We do need a quorum for each meeting, so.
I will
So
not
that
be
is
here
important.
the 28th, but I think
Not
we
on the
already
28th,
discussed
okay.
that. Do you want me to email you?
If you wouldn't mind, that'd be great. Thank you.
Is there minutes for, like, if Lily wanted to, could she review what we discussed in the?
Yeah, everything that this board does has to conform to meeting format, so there will be minutes afterwards. And those will be available. And then I can also update.
Really,
Lily
I
as
thought
well.
training was not a formal meeting.
Well, under open meeting law, whenever a town board meets for anything, it has to conform to the standards of open meeting law. So like for the training, an agenda will be posted at the town clerk's office. So if someone goes by and sees that there's going to be a training, they'll be able to come in. It doesn't mean that as the chair you need to accept, comments from the peanut gallery, but they would be able to sit here as part of a public meeting.
But if I wanted to say something, she could accept my comments.
Roy being the peanut gallery in this
She has
instance.
to make these connections.
So,
Connecting the dots, yes.
but yeah, it's always a public meeting, no matter what it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Could I ask, when's the next time we're going to go through enforcements?
We can put that on the agenda for any meeting coming up. As another update there, I would say that we have moved closer to getting a surveyor to do the properties, some select properties for encroachments. So that was a big step in terms of the enforcements, because a lot of them had to do with these issues of people cutting onto town property. So the fact that we're at that point is pretty momentous. So I'll
Wonderful.
update you whenever we get that.
And is there an update with Congress passing funding, I believe, for our beach erosion replenishment from the?
Did they?
Yeah, the Congress passed
All right,
that budget.
great.
Oh, so you don't know, you don't have any other information on it?
I
That's just what I got from the papers.
I haven't heard.
Oh.
I've been focusing on other things, but that's
Yeah,
good to hear.
something like 225,000 metric
Tons.
tons of, that could be moved from Scussett
Good.
to that area, plus the 90,000 that comes from the canal every 7 years. But they're trying to raise it from 225 to 400.
The recommended amount had been higher.
Yes.
At like 388, I think,
Yeah.
on there.
So I was just wondering whether or not, does that mean, is there a timing? But you don't have any additional information, so therefore,
I don't-
this further line of questioning is moot.
If you're wondering about some specifics, email me and I'll run it
No,
by Dave.
just
I'll-
wanted to
I'll
find out
see
if there's
what
any
he says.
update from your
Yeah.
perspective.
Do we have any plans in place with the septic changes that are being proposed by the DEP for properties bordering watersheds.
There's a lot of new information tonight.
But I'm assuming that if that is a go, that would increase volume of the number of,
Is that changes to Title V? I haven't heard about this
The
actually.
new septic system.
it's so people who own properties with septic systems that abut a watershed are being encouraged to, or forced to, upgrade their septic systems to be the,
Denitrifying systems?
Exactly.
Okay.
so that I'm assuming would increase the volume of applicants we would see.
Quite possibly, yeah. I hadn't heard about this, and that's a DEP action coming down?
From what I understand. I'm
Okay.
happy to share what I've seen on it, but I know all of the other towns have had town meetings surrounding it, and I haven't seen anything in Sandwich.
All right. Well, I'm in the dark, I guess. So if you have a link or something, definitely shoot it my way.
I would anticipate that also ties with the whole sewer system effort over the next 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
Should we get an update on that, or is that not really? I assume it impacts us in some locations.
I'm not, I don't know. I don't know. That's not a jurisdictional element that I'm a part of right now. But email me if,
No, I mean, that was at the planning session. They had the engineer come in and talk to it.
okay.
But it did say it was going to focus on those areas that are most prone to flooding, which would be in our resource areas, of course.
Right.
City zone, A&E.
There was an article about sewering in the Times, I think yesterday, or the day before, a couple days ago, about Mashpee. So if you pick up a copy of the New York Times, there's a big article about Papaneset Bay, Santuit Pond.
Look at that.
No
Get
good
on our
news,
radar.
but
Was that the one with like Z looking off into the distance again?
I think it's Andrew Gottlieb.
Okay.
It might be the same article, yeah.
Not the same person at this point. Actually, Andrew Gottlieb, I did talk to him. He's open to presenting to us about possibly the recommended septic system upgrades, but the other work and initiatives that the APCC is doing, if we have any interest in that. So,
Okay.
just putting that out there. If we
All right.
want more information to help us with like how we make decisions or how we're rewriting things,
Yeah, maybe.
he has a lot of knowledge. So,
Sure.
was this you? Can't wait to tack it up on my friend.
If there's nothing further, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the January 4th, 2023 meeting of the Sandwich Conservation Commission.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.